Welcome back to Without a Doubt, the podcast where we celebrate living life authentically and organically as ourselves. We're the ones who believe in creating our own paths and living our truths out loud. Join in on an honest and open conversation about self-discovery and growth. I'm your girl Mad, your host, and your sprinkle of reality. I'm here to remind you that it's okay to live life differently and that you don't have to be what is expected of you, that your happiness matters. And yes, even us baddies who know this need this reminder too. I'm thankful, grateful, and blessed, y'all. But for real, I was struggling this week to find the motivation on what I wanted to share because I'm basically recording these week to week rather than batching them out like I had wanted in the very beginning. Honestly, motivation is shit for me right now, but my discipline is strong. I keep my promises to myself, and that is getting out 52 episodes in 1 year. Yes, one a week. No slack, baby. I got this shit. And yes, you listening to these encourages me to keep it going, so I'm doing my shit. I guess I should say I'm thankful for you listening. I'm grateful you're here and allowing me to take up space in your world, and I'm blessed in that I'm capable to do this. We're leaning heavy into Thanksgiving holiday theme because I'm struggling to feel motivated to write up any outlines despite having a fuck ton of ideas on a list that I feel a pull I could talk about for a while. But this is not on my list, not at all. But this has been the spark of my week, and I'm going to let it ignite this fire for this episode. So let's get into giving thanks. Don't forget to follow, like, and give your girls 5-star rating if you love this episode. Share it. That helps. Everything helps. And it's free for you to share. So share it. Help your girl out. Thank you. Let's get into giving thanks. Okay, number one. Well, let's talk about why does it seem people are more thankful this time of the year? It's like the theme, right? Everybody's thankful. It's everywhere, Thanksgiving. But what if your attitude actually rolled into the entire year? During these times of the year when we're all busy, we're more stressed, people are going to have a harder time giving back and helping. And I think it's important to show your gratitude, appreciation, and truly mean it or acknowledge that help because it's not always easy for these said people to maybe give the help that you're looking for. Some people will be in debt, go out, spend their whole paycheck for gifts. But that receiver won't actually know that that person doesn't have the money. And in return, a lack of appreciation will turn that giver sour. Appreciation goes a very long way. Thank you goes a very long way. And it's the simple things and smaller things that we actually end up taking for granted, especially from our family and our close friends. Small things that include time, which is something that you never get back. And I think in my brain, my time is the most valuable. You can give in a ton of ways. I prefer not to financially help someone. Rather, teach someone to fish so they can catch their own fish instead of coming to me when they're hungry. I'd rather you think of something that I taught you and remind you of that rather than buy you some tchotchke from TJ Maxx. I prefer to be the before thought, not an afterthought. And I think that's what happens more so in this time of year. We get nailed in the head with the idea that we need to be thankful. In all honesty, we should actually be thankful all year long. When are you really thankful, grateful, blessed? Are you feeling that way when you're having a shitty ass day and you spilled your coffee all over yourself in the car and your dog took a shit in the house and you think, man, this is the worst? Are you grateful then? Because I sometimes think this could be worse. And I'm grateful for what I do have. No matter how small, all things are usually appreciated in my universe. I'm overly aware because I notice the small things, like when my friend Sam sends me a message on Instagram checking in because she could see I was struggling. Or when somebody takes a few extra seconds to send me a picture of something that they saw that reminded them of me. I notice new plant leaves and when somebody gets a new haircut, and I can tell when vibes are low. I do believe that comes from a place of awareness, awokeness, but also a place of appreciation for what is constantly swirling around me. I'm grateful for the things that I have, whether they're big or small. And being thankful for the small things, I think, is the hardest thing. Being thankful for the small things is hard because the small things are going to be harder to see. They're harder to feel, and they sometimes just don't seem to hold as much space at that time because they are small. But small things can be just as big. Saying thank you in a text message the following day, or just saying thank you with a little bit of extra zhuzh. Actually, my favorite way of saying thank you is with a card because it shows that you sat the fuck down to actually give some thanks and you thought about it. And it's the simplest way to show appreciation. And what you don't realize, some people save those cards that you write. That is me, i.e. I am the person that will save any handwritten note to me. I probably have it in a box somewhere. If you went to high school with me, I have your note in a binder. And I think the reality is, I think that if you sat down to write something to somebody, a text message is like kind of on the wayside. Welcome to 2023, but it means something. I think these are the simplest ways to just show appreciation. And I might be wrong when I say this, but saying thank you when you're actually handed a gift without even acknowledging like what the actual gift is just a cop out and a sloppy way to show gratitude. Like, here's your gift, thank you for my gift. But like, when you get your gift or you open it later, or you're like, wow, thank you, she thought of me, or they thought of me with this is really thoughtful. Maybe you don't even like the fucking gift. If you don't like it, that's okay, but still send a text later, because that person thought of you to go out of their way to do something nice for you. And I guess that's going to lead me into, do people not say thank you for gifts anymore? Because I've gifted a few people this year, not few, multiple, three, what's a three? A few. And I didn't even get so much of a thank you. Maybe I'm feeling salty right now, but I think this is like the way and the considerate thing to do, unless maybe that's not a thing to do. You don't thank people anymore. I think being a considerate person might be too hard. Might also be the fact that I live in a very diverse part of South Florida where there's more self-centered people here. Are there? I'm not really sure. Or are these people feeling entitled to the gifts they got? I was also raised to say thank you, write thank you cards, and be so appreciative, even for the small things. And no pity to me. No, I'm not looking for that. I don't find that the people in my own bubble really do small things for me. I'm a giver, but I'm also very selfish, and I love to give. I like to make people happy, and I do love to share. But I've realized there's a lot of people in my own bubble that take, and just don't thank. And I love to be thanked. This applies to more than tangible gifts. This revolves around helping others, giving back. And maybe you also feel like, yeah, Madison, I hear you. Like, I have these people too. But I started to realize I don't have to give to the unappreciative people around me. And that includes my own energy, which I could do less of. And I could match energy, which some people might say is dimming my own light. But some people won't be thankful for your presence. You matter. Your time matters. And you being somewhere is a gift. Don't forget that. No one wants to feel invisible or unseen. And you can do yourself a solid to find yourself a group that actually recognizes your presence. Permission granted, I give it to you. My goal is to raise vibrations, and in any setting, you should be able to elevate the conversation, the dynamic, or the energy. We all serve a purpose here, which means your surrounding circle needs to know your value. Feeling valued and appreciated is all about what we're seeking in relationships. Why is it so hard that we struggle to do this for others? We have a hard time showing people how they're valued. We have a hard time thanking people. And let's talk about when you want to thank or you want to give back. I think there's more than one way to give. I think your time, money, donations, and goods. Personally, I'm just like a time giver. I mentioned earlier, I love to share and give. And one thing I think I'm really great at is giving my time. If you need it, I will give it. I have tons of it, and I prefer to use it in as much way as I can good. And one time I was driving to downtown Miami to help the homeless with hot meals and breakfast at 5 a.m. It was so fulfilling at times and also so frustrating because not everybody actually goes there for help. Some of them are just looking for handouts. They just wanted the free hot breakfast. Nonetheless, I was optimistic to always show up, and I even raised money for this said organization. And I remember it just didn't feel as good for me to give the check. I wanted to feel like being there was making a difference. I feel like maybe I did make a change in a few people's lives over the year that I went there every Wednesday morning, but I still think of this one time that this lady asked if I could get her a puppy. I couldn't do that, obviously, but she then asked for a hug, which I could do that. And she told me that she needed the hug. I'll always think of this lady that day while I was serving eggs and a homeless lady just wanted a hug. Although she probably doesn't remember it, I definitely do. You can make a difference by collecting goods, helping others, making meals, which we did for a while too. My mom and I were making lasagnas for this group called Lasagna Love. I'll tag that below. If you like to cook, this is a great way to give back to the community. We stopped doing that after a while. It was just getting to be too much for us. And like I said, I do other things in my life, but Lasagna Love, I'll share below. You can make meals, or you could put your own time aside to be at a place doing like the world's work. Your time can be just as valuable, if not more than financial at times. And if you think like you're more like me, you question if the money that you're actually donating is going where it's supposed to go. Showing my face is the way that I feel I'm doing my work. Plus, I think it feels better to do that rather than give the money. Always, we give back to charity, others, whatever, however you feel is dependent on you. This just happens to be my thought process. But fun fact, in 2022, Americans gave almost $500 billion to charity. And the largest source actually came from individuals like you and me, and that was almost $320 billion. Money is needed for change, so if that's what you prefer, do it. Donate your money. Keep doing it. I'm just trying to spread awareness about other ways to give back and give thanks. What you give, you're going to get back in tenfold, but this is not the reason to give. I think being a good human, leading with good intention, putting your best foot forward is how you can guarantee to fill your life with higher vibrations. Leading a life this way can help you pave a path for others and also illuminate your light even brighter. Giving back and being thankful can help raise your own vibrations because they promote a positive mindset and help you foster a sense of gratitude. When you engage in acts of giving back, running 5Ks, helping charitable causes, whatever you feel best, you're going to experience a sense of fulfillment and purpose. This is going to lead to increased feelings of happiness, satisfaction, and that's going to elevate the overall well-being, why you feel you're here, and that's going to contribute to your high energy levels. Practicing gratitude by being thankful for the blessings and positive aspects of your life can shift your focus towards the positive. Then that's going to help you appreciate what you have rather than dwelling on what you lack. I know it's easy to feel like you're missing things, you don't have things, especially with social media, what your friends are doing. But maybe you can go back to one of my first episodes of why you don't need to be jealous about everybody else. We're all working on our own things. This shift in perspective is what's going to bring a greater sense of contentment to you and your optimism. Ultimately, raising your vibrations. I keep saying that. Let's raise our vibrations. We can do it all together. You, me, and the whole world. We are working on it, right? By engaging in these acts of giving back, however you do it, financially, time, goods, it's not going to only positively impact the people that you're helping, but it's also going to create a ripple effect to enhance your own emotional and energetic state and a ripple effect in the universe around. It's a way to align yourself with positive energy and attract more positivity to your life. Can I get an amen? We all want more positivity, right? As we start closing out 2023 and rolling into the next year, I hope you can move with more gratitude and keep it all year long. Seeking out the small things to thank, the big things to appreciate, and the mundane things that will help you create gratitude. This life is a gift. You're not entitled to it. You're not entitled to more. But you have the ability to embrace all that you have and create more flurries of blessings. Sound like I am taking you to church. Go get them, Tiger. Make the world a shinier and brighter version with your love and appreciation. All of this podcast is written, directed, and cultivated by your girl, Mad. I hope you know that it is brought onto this podcast with love and light. And I just saw a whole thing about how shallow love and light is, but love and light for real, I feel that is what the truth is. I want to bring that. Just a reminder, without a doubt, you are a badass, and don't you fucking forget that, okay? I'll see you next week on Wednesday. XOXO. Your girl, Mad.